welcome to the 3BWaxing show. Today's topic is how to use the acne and ingrown pads if you have ingrowns. So how to get the results of bringing down your ingrowns with the pads. We're going to talk about that today. How are you doing? How are things going? I'm going to get into announcements. First announcement is make sure you are on an email list because I will be sending out Black Friday information. You guys did a survey saying that you wanted the acne and ingrow pads on sale for Black Friday. So I'm listening. And so they will be on sale. And the people who will know about it first will be those on the email list. Hey, welcome to the 3BWaxing show. Ivy Marie, welcome. Welcome to the 3BWaxing show, virtual Bree. Good to see you guys. How are you doing? The second announcement is, right now, if you want the acne and ingrow pads, you can get two for the price of $68, which that is a $12 savings. They're usually $80. So that's going on right now. Literally, I think I have 8 left. It was 10 this morning. I think 2 got sold, but I had 50. So over the weekend, actually on Monday, I'm going to pack all those orders and get them out to you guys who ordered. But if you're still interested in that, you can go to 3BWaxing.com or you can click the link in the bio and it's the first button to get that special. You don't need to put in any discount. You just go ahead and put it in. The third announcement is for my estheticians, would it be cosmetologists? Yeah, my cosmetologist too, that follow me. I'm speaking I have a speaking engagement on Tuesday. It is with Marilyn at Dr. Lashes Aesthetics. You probably, if you've been following me a while, you know that we did a live together. She invited me on her live to talk about ingrowns and how to get rid of them and dark spots and stuff like that. Well, she invited me to speak to her group of estheticians that are improving in their career, and it's called Gems. And I will be speaking to them, but I wanted to let estheticians that follow me know that this is a program that you want to consider joining. She has great information. She teaches all over the country. She's based in Hawaii, but she teaches all over the country. She just came back from doing a whole teaching tour. So if you are an esthetician, cosmetologist, and you want to, be on top of your education, then I definitely recommend her. Check her out. It's at Dr. Lashes Aesthetics on Instagram. And the program is Gems. All right. I think that's it for the announcements. Let's see. We talked about the pads. We talked about Black Friday. And then we talked about Gems. I think that's it. All right, I'm going to go into the intro and then I'm going to talk about, so if you've been following, you know that I've been doing a whole series on how I started the pads, what they're for, and today I want to talk about how to use them for your ingrowns. I had quite a few of you saying that, oh, I get ingrowns. Are they good for that? Yes, I've helped a lot of my clients improve their skin with these pads, and I want to break down some ways that you can use them depending on what's going on with your skin to get the most out of them. So that's what the focus is of today. So I'm gonna do the intro and then we'll get started. Welcome to the 3BWaxing show. Welcome to the 3BWaxing show. And so you remember, welcome to the 3BWaxing show. I am Becca, a pro waxer, skin therapist, and licensed esthetician since 2010. I help people remove unwanted hair, acne, discoloration, and ingrowns through full body waxing, which I use hard wax only, chemical peels, facials, and products. I have my own product line, which is my exfoliating pads. I have the acne ingrown pads and the fruit enzyme pads. During this series, we're really talking about the acne and ingrown pads. But the fruit enzyme pads are chemical exfoliants as well, and they can be used on the face and body. Chemical exfoliants are really good for sensitive skin. We talked about it yesterday, how important it is, and I'm going to recap a little bit about what we were talking about yesterday as well. Some more about me is I also help estheticians start their own product lines, start their own salon suite, attract clients, and improve their waxing technique. I've helped many estheticians and cosmetologists, massage therapists. Some things that make me qualified is I've been the regional trainer for a large waxing franchise and the lead esthetician at a high-end gym in Newport Beach. I go live Wednesday through Friday giving free information about skincare, waxing, and esthetician business. If you want to know when I go live about waxing, you can join the Wax Lounge. Click the link in the bio on Instagram at 3BWaxing. Join, free to join. If you want to know when I go live about skincare ingredients, stuff like what we're talking about today, join the lab. And then if you want to know when I go live about waxing information, then join the Wax Lounge. I also send out different sales that are going on to those lists and information, like further information from what we talk about on the show. So let's get into it. How many of you on this live already know that how I started the pads and how they came about? Just so I don't, if I don't need to repeat myself, then I can go into a lot. I'm going to do a quick recap, but so let me know yes if you know how they got started, no if you don't, because then either way I'm going to recap, but I just want to know how much I need to go into information. So my specialty is Brazilian waxing. I started the pads, Essence said yes. Okay, so I'll do a quick recap. I started the pads because I saw that my clients had dark spots, ingrown hairs. They needed something quick to exfoliate with. Okay, Ivy said no, so I'm going to do a quick recap. I was really hairy, one, and I would get boils as well. So ingrowns that turned into boils, and it was awful. In high school, I was able to join an esthetician program where I could go to my regular high school in the morning and then go to esthetician high school in the evening. Hey, welcome to the 3BWaxing show, Phoenix Skin Diva. Welcome. And that, honestly, that was such a great program. I'm very thankful I was able to do that because I had a career before I even went to college. So if you're thinking about ever doing that, or someone on here, or you talking to somebody who's thinking about it, I highly recommend it. But yeah, I was hairy and I had really bad ingrowns. And so I started waxing people. And I really noticed that waxing helped a lot with my ingrowns personally, and then with other people's. And then when I was working at places, I started learning about products and ingredients. And I really found that from learning about these ingredients and trying them out with chemical peels and all this kind of stuff, I found that salicylic acid, glycolic acid, and lactic acid were the ingredients that knocked out all the problems that my clients were having. And in 2017, when I opened up 3BWaxing, I really was determined to find something that I could offer my clients that had those ingredients, because I was not finding something that had those three ingredients, that didn't have alcohol, and that also was in pad form. And the reason why I wanted pad form is because I'm in California and people are on the go here. And I was also working at a high-end gym in Newport Beach, and people needed to remember to exfoliate, so I felt like pads would be the best way. But people are really busy here. And so I was like, okay, pad form. So lactic acid, salicylic acid, glycolic acid, no alcohol. And then I wanted to have like calming ingredients or things that didn't make it dry. Like, I don't know if you guys have tried other products. Have you guys tried other products that are for ingrowns? Like Tin Skin was a popular one. At the company I was working with, it was European Wax. I worked with them twice. So I worked when I was in college, and then I worked for them right before I opened up 3B. And I loved their serum. But I really wanted, something with lactic acid in it. And then they did come out with pads, but they didn't have lactic, and then they had alcohol, and so I was like, okay, can't do that. And I needed something to retail to my clients to help them. So it took some time, researching, doing all this stuff. But then I came out with my pads. And since then, I've been able to really prove them. So like, they're better than the first version that I had. So these are the acne ingrown pads. The important thing about when I say, you'll see on the pads that it has salicylic acid treatment, because salicylic acid is a strong chemical exfoliation, and in the United States it's considered a drug because it does such a good job of pulling out that bacteria and bringing it to the surface. Now, chemical is not a bad word around here. I talked about this yesterday. You hear about like, oh, chemical, it can be bad. It can be, no, actually chemical exfoliants are really good for sensitive skin. And if you suffer with dark spots, or darkness, melanoma, you want to look into chemical exfoliation. So that's, the background story. To catch those up who are new, and then thanks for those who are being patient, who already heard about it. I just want to get everybody on the same page. So, I am very good at helping people with ingrown hairs. Because I have been waxing for so long, and I really do love doing Brazilian waxes. Once I quote unquote retire and have children, I'm going to continue to do Brazilian waxes because I love it. It makes people feel confident. It helps them with ingrowns, dark spots. Like, that's what it helped me with. So I want to continue to help people do that. I found ways to help with ingrown hairs. Everybody knows what an ingrown hair is, right? Like ingrown bumps and why they happen. Give me a yes if you do, give me a no if you don't. So pretty much everyone knows. If not, let me know and I will explain it. A quick explanation of it is that just the hair gets, the hairs get trapped into the skin. Let me know. Yes, you know what ingrown hairs are, ingrown bumps are, and then no, you do not. They are caused by having really curly hair. That was one of my problems. They're caused by conditions like HS is an example of one. They're caused by not exfoliating enough for your skin type, depending on how fast your cell turnover is. Because your cell turnover, and I understand in my mind, I explain it to clients, but sometimes when I'm saying it, I'm like, this doesn't even make sense to me. Because all my words got jumbled. Like, I was talking to a client one time, and I explained cell turnover, and we literally were like, what did I just say? Marie said yes, thank you. So your skin, does its own natural cell turnover. But as you get older, that slows down. And so you need products like the pads, scrubs, papaya masks, things that exfoliate the skin, glycolic cleansers, to help that process along. So that way your new skin can come through, your living cells. So if we already know what, ingrown hairs are, boom. I'm going to give you some, I know we're focusing today on some things to do to or how to use the pads for your ingrowns, but I also want to talk about some things to do to prevent ingrowns. Anyway, so I'll pick one area, I guess, and we'll go like, you guys want me to talk about how to prevent ingrowns on the face, underarm, Brazilian, leg? Tell me which area you prefer, and whichever one has the most votes, or whichever one I see first, I'll really focus on that area. A lot of it is similar, but there's some specifics to each area. So from things I've seen with working with clients, each area can have some things. Essence said underarm. So she was the first to put it down. So we're going to go with underarm. Thank you, Essence. So underarms with ingrowns. I really have a personal story to this because I used to have really bad ingrowns in my underarm, and literally my teacher at esthetician school and my friend picked out all the little ingrowns in my underarm. It was painful and it took forever. It took a whole class, but it helped me. So underarms, some things you need to do when you get them. And you, for those of you who just gave me like face and Brazilian, you can apply some of these to, you can apply these to your face and Brazilian, and then another time we will go into those specifically. So for your underarms, let's first just get the first one out of the way. You need to start waxing and using hard wax. Hard wax is gentle on the skin. It's way more gentle. And if you're already prone to irritation on your underarms, then you're going to want to use hard wax. Another thing is check your deodorants. So natural isn't always better with deodorants. I'm not a person to say, oh, you know, because we've all heard the thing, I'm sure, that aluminum is like bad for breast cancer and stuff like that, and you know, it's probably true, but I'm not a person to be like, oh, do you have this underarm deodorant, whatever. But you do want to check if you're allergic to any ingredients in some natural deodorants, if you're using natural deodorants. And if you're not using a natural deodorant, you also want to try out some deodorants and see if you are more prone to ingrowns with some. I have seen that with clients where a natural deodorant just messes up their underarms and they have to try different ones because they may be allergic to essential oils, whatever's in there. I'm not against natural, I'm not against essential oils, but not everyone can handle them. So that's something also you need to look at. When you are working out, if you sweat a lot in your underarms, you're going to want to bring the pads with you and do some swipes afterwards. Sweat the best way to say it is like sweat just comes together and creates like bacteria, and then it's hard for the hair to get through. So definitely exfoliate more often. Use a chemical exfoliant, because with the underarms, I have noticed that using a physical exfoliant on your skin, I've noticed with clients and stuff, can be too abrasive where it starts making them too dark. Another thing with the underarm is doing detoxes with the underarm. So this is a service that I do in the salon, but you can do them at home. Like, they're basically like a underarm facial. You can do them every week, and what you're doing is you are giving yourself a facial, but on your underarm. So you're doing a cleanse. You're doing a double cleanse. You're doing a enzyme mask. A really good one I like to recommend. You can use the pads for this, but a good one I like to recommend is PCA Skin. Their revitalizing mask It has papaya in it. It's like a green, it smells so good. You can use it all over your body, but people don't always think about you can use those products in other areas that you're struggling with. And you can put it there and then massage it with some steam. So if you're in the shower or over a pot, and then remove. So do it for 15 minutes. And then apply a clay mask to draw any toxins. That's going to help a lot. What the enzyme mask is going to do, it's going to start removing that dead skin so the hairs come out easier. Also, if you have someone who really cares about you, ask them to sanitize some pointed tweezers and take out those hairs. That's what I do with my clients after I wax them. If they have some ingrowns, take them out, because it basically starts them off from scratch, or it gives you a new slate. Like, okay, woo, I can get consistent and work on these ingrowns. There's a lot more, but I want to give this last one in pertaining to waxing. If you are really struggling with ingrowns in your underarm, you need to be waxing every 2 weeks. Now, let's go into the pads. How to use them to prevent ingrowns. The amount of time to use them varies with people, but I usually tell people 3 to 4 times a week. It's a good amount of time, especially if you're really prone to ingrowns. I know there's so many different variations of ingrowns. Ingrowns don't have to be bumps. They could be like hair that just is like underneath the skin, but you can't get to it. I'm today going to focus on those who have really bad ingrowns. If you don't have them as bad, you can adjust, but I feel like the people that I serve usually have, I hate to say like, oh, really bad, but they're just, they struggle with ingrowns, because that's something that I struggle with and something that I now know how to manage and take care of. And so, makes sense, right? Okay, so that's where I'm going to go into how often to use them, how to use them, and all that stuff. I'm going to do a quick reset for those who just joined, and then we'll get into it. Welcome to the 3BWaxing Show. Welcome to the 3BWaxing Show. And so you remember, welcome to the 3BWaxing Show. I am Becca, a pro waxer, skin therapist, and licensed esthetician since 2010. I help people remove unwanted hair, acne, discoloration, and ingrowns through full body waxing, chemical peels, facials, and products. I have my own product line, which is my exfoliating pads that have been sold all over the US, the UK, Canada, the UAE, and the Netherlands. They're the acne and ingrown pads, which we're talking about tonight. And then I also have the fruit enzyme pads. They are chemical exfoliants, so they are great, perfect for sensitive skin. They also can be used on the face and body and on your bikini line area. I help estheticians start their own product line. I've helped a lot of estheticians, massage therapists start their own product line, start their own salon suite, attract clients, and improve their waxing technique. Some things that make me qualified is that I've been the regional trainer for a large waxing franchise and a lead esthetician for a high-end gym in Newport Beach. I don't know how many people I've waxed, but I have an ad that goes out that it says that I've waxed over 1,500 people, but I know it's way more than that. I've been doing this since I was, how old was I when I started esthetician school? I was 16, 17. I was in high school. I've waxed a lot of people, but that was the safe one I could go with, like, if you want to know when I go live about waxing, you can join the Wax Lounge. If you want to know when I go live about skincare information, skincare ingredients, you can join the lab. And then if you want to know when I go live about esthetician business and starting your own product line, starting your own salon suite, attracting clients to your salon, you can join the salon tea. I usually go live Wednesday through Friday at 3:26 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Lately, I've been going live more often to help you guys out, and Also, if you're on any of those lists, they're free to join. Click the link in the bio on Instagram at 3BWaxing. I do send out special sales, secret sales, information, further going into detail about what we talked about, all kinds of stuff. My email list always gets it first. Like for Black Friday, I probably will put it on the feed, but you'll for sure know about it through the email. All right, so if you find this if you find this information useful, you can click the link in the bio and get the free exfoliating guide. It's an in-depth guide to exfoliating, and exfoliation specifically geared to having healthy skin. It's beautiful, if I do say so myself. So you could click the link in the bio. I believe it's the third button. I checked yesterday and then I forgot. I believe it's the third button. I've been working all day, and I'm very thankful to be working and being busy and serving people, and so but it got to me a little bit. Yeah, you can grab that and really understand exfoliation. It's very in-depth. So, how to use the pads. 3 to 4 times a week. When you first get the pads, you're going to want to do a sensitivity test. I tell my clients to do this when I'm in the salon. When they first get the pads, I'm like, do a sensitivity test to see if it's too strong or it's not strong enough, and you need to determine if you need to do it more often. So it's a good way to determine how often you need to do it. So a sensitivity test is basically, and this is what the pads look like. I'll open it up. I was going to pull one out. I probably will this week. Just dropped them all. I probably will pull, I might as well just pull one out now. I just dropped it. This is my personal one, so I'm not, this is not one that I use on people or that I share with my husband. We have our own jars. So this is what they look like. It's bad. They are drenched. That's one thing I love about telling people about the pads, is that they are the solution. These wipes are covered in the solution. When I first started sending these pads out, they would spill, really spill when people would send me pictures like, hey, I got my product, but I can't even tell the address because it's spilled. And as bad as that could be, it's actually a good thing, because sometimes you can get pads and product and it's dry by 2 weeks into having the product. These are saturated. Also, they're saturated and the ingredients are high quality ingredients. I don't know any other way to express it more than they're ingredients that are very active, low preservatives. The preservative in it is natural. It's the because I want to say it right. It's the sodium benzenite. It's natural. That's a big thing that I wanted. Low in preservatives, because when you go to drugstores and different places, so let's just say drugstores, a lot of their products have so many preservatives in them that they're helping you, but they're not doing what they really should or could do. And the reason why they have to have so many preservatives is because they need to be on the shelves for a long period of time. If you've been, rocking with me, you know that I constantly am sold out of pads. And I have been buying a lot, and one of the reasons is because of the virus going on. But another reason is they're made fresh. They're made fresh, and I don't like to sit on inventory very long because they're so fresh. They do last for 12 months. The reason why I'm thinking of 12 is because when you see this on the pads, I don't know if you guys can see that. I don't know if you can tell it says 12. But it do last 12 months. but they're, you know, the freshest in the first month, but they do stay fresh till 12 months. But I also like to keep them fresh as possible for my clients. So this is what they look like. They are saturated, like I said. There is so much in this little pad. It's kind of crazy. So a sensitivity test is what you do is you take the pad and you're going to apply it to the area. So in this broadcast today on the show, the waxing show today, we are talking about the underarms. So you would wait 15 minutes, let it sit for 15 minutes. Because what we're doing is a sensitivity test. We are seeing, you know, how strong it is for us, how our skin reacts, and seeing how often we are going to need to be using them. So you do that. And I tell my clients to do this too, the ones I see in the salon, but you know, I'm seeing them so regularly that we adjust it personally. And if you do want to work with me one-on-one on, you know, over virtual, because I'm not taking, you know, in-person clients right now, then you can through a skin improvement call. So you let it sit 15 minutes. Then you're going to rinse. I usually tell people, you know, do it before you get in the shower. Wait. Also, they smell really good. And the rinse. And then you're going to see, like, did some of your ingrowns come out? Did some of the hairs come out? Some people can use this once a week and they knock out their ingrowns, right? For some of us, I'm in this group, your skin is strong. Your skin is like, it needs some chemical exfoliation to really get in there. And it needs to swim. So you may need to do it 2 to 3 times a week. Now, it also depends on I know I'm jumping around, but how often you use it also depends on what else you're doing. So if you are using a cleanser that has salicylic acid in it, or anything that is exfoliant in your like beads or anything, I know there's like, what comes to mind is that Neutrogena one, then you may use these less. Also, if you brush like once a week with the brush underneath, that may help. If you're doing the underarm detox like I told you, then that's another thing that will make you use this less. But the sensitivity test will be like, okay, if you didn't feel anything and not much happened, then you're gonna use it more often. And then that's when I say start sleeping in it. So use it at night, sleep in it, and then I would say wash it off in the morning. You don't have to. You can also use it at the gym, especially if you sweat a lot. I tell my clients that if you sweat a lot and prone to ingrowns, just use this after you're done. You can also use it on your face, on the bikini line, because the bikini line is very prone to ingrowns for some people. But when you're working out, it can, you know, just be a mess. So do it and then get home and shower, or if you have somewhere to go, at least you were able to use the pad. Does that make sense? Is this helpful to understand, you know, how to use it, sensitivity test? You really should be doing sensitivity test with all your products. And I'm going to share this because I haven't shared this with anyone yet. But I do want to eventually come up with, and this is like way in advance, so this is not something I am going to have available anytime soon. But I would like to have a journal for you guys. And Empress said yes. Okay. Thank you for answering. Kai Emirates, this makes sense. Okay, perfect. Thank you. Very helpful. I reset. Okay, cool. Yeah, so crap, what was I saying? Oh, I want to make a journal eventually for you guys. That will be first. I'll probably do it to like when people come and see me or when they do video calls. Again, this has not been made. This is something I want to eventually make. I'm going to give myself time. I stopped putting so much time deadlines on myself because it used to stress me out. But a little like booklet to really help you guys try products and write it down, like what it does. So say you order these pads and you're like, okay, I'm putting this into my skin routine. So you're going to write down, okay, I ordered, these pads. This is what it's recommended to do. I'm going to do the sensitivity test. You write it down. Then you're going to jot down what happened. And then you're going to say, I'm going to use it, this time of week and see anything. And then the next week, you see what's the progress. It's basically like how I work with my clients one-on-one during skin consultations and stuff, or when I see them in the salon, but a journal form. And in my mind, it would be cool to be like, oh, for the clients who come in, because I document things that happen with my clients, what they tell me when they come in, or if we do video calls, I document it. But they come in with the folder and be like, okay, this is what has been going on, and we talk about it and be like, okay, and then I write down what I did to their skin and give it to them. So that's that. I feel like that would be so helpful. But that's a future thing. I got a lot of other stuff going on right now, like packing these orders. There's a lot of them I gotta pack on Monday. But yeah, so that's what I want to do, because I know is that when I work with people and their skin, sometimes they forget what they tried, what worked, and how often they did it and what combination worked. And so that is, something. She said awesome. That's something that just writing down and keeping track of things will help you. One last tip I want to give you before we get done, because we talked about ingrowns, we talked about how to do it. Hey, the Push Lab. Welcome to the 3BWaxing. Did you change your picture to your face, your beautiful face? One last thing I want to give you advice on if you're dealing with ingrowns, and yeah, if any of this was helpful to you, you can grab the exfoliation guide. It's a free guide if you click the link in the bio. You know what? Then I'm thinking of somebody else. They have I think it's the Push Bar. Sorry about that, but still a beautiful face. Click the link in the bio. I believe it's the third button. It's the exfoliation guide. Goes all into it. Boom, boom, boom. If you want to work with me one-on-one with your skin, then you can do that. We do it on, if you have iPhone, we do it FaceTime. And then if you don't, we just do it on Zoom. And then I help you with whatever skin thing you're going through. So like if you are going through, shit, thanks, you're welcome. If you are going through, hormonal acne, we can go through what you need to be using as your products, what services you need to be getting, because I do a lot of virtual consultations with people who don't live in California. They live in other states, and so I can help you. And even if you're seeing some esthetician and getting services, I can still help you, and I'm working with what's going on to give you the best help for improving your skin and having healthy skin. But not just skin on your face, but your underarms, I've helped people with their bikini line, because that's my specialty. But I have one last important tip. If you're really struggling with ingrowns, start tracking what you're eating. And the reason I say that is because, from my personal experience, I don't know if I have HS. I have diagnosed myself, right? But I've been on, antibiotics and stuff like that before when it was out of control. And then I found that waxing helped a lot, and then being on top of the pads and stuff like that. But from my experience being in the salon with people who have it or don't know they have it, but they have it, tracking what you eat and what you may be allergic to is going to help. It not only helps with for you, but it helps like if you need to go to the doctor to get like an antibiotic cycle, or like if you're going through a flare-up, you can start identifying it. And I relate this to when I give people facials. Like when you are a woman and you're about to go hit your menstrual cycle, you usually, everyone's different, but usually you break out the week before, or no, usually it's during the cycle. So I tell people to get a facial the week before. And so it's important to track that. Just like, that's the example I want to give to if you are trying to track when you have ingrowns. Like, start tracking it, it'll make a difference. Hopefully that makes sense. I know it was a little jumbled at the end, but all right. I am wishing wonderful skin for you all. Make sure you go grab those 2 jars for $68, because after the bundles are sold out, that's it for that special. And I love you guys. I'm just hoping that you guys have great skin and are confident in your skin. My tagline or motto is making sexy, confident, and beautiful your reality. And that's really my heart. And why I do all this is because I really want you to be confident and feel sexy and beautiful, however that means to you. So we all have different skin, we all have different things going on, but whatever that means to you, I would like to help you get there. If I can help you stop wearing makeup because you feel like you need to cover up your skin, you continue to wear makeup but you don't feel like you need it, then that makes me so happy. So it does, because my breakouts start the week before my menses. Thank you. You're welcome. Yeah, that's so true. So my goal is to make you feel confident, because I truly believe, and that's the reason I'm in this business. So I made all my problems become a whole entire business and career. But because I truly believe that you are more successful when you are confident and feeling good about yourself, and you make more money when you're confident, you do better, you talk to people better, you show up differently. And it does not have to be like, and the reason I'm saying this is because some used to say like, oh, you have to wear makeup to feel confident. No, you don't. You do not. It's whatever you feel that's confident. So if you have dark spots and that's something you struggle with, then we're going to work on it. We'll work on it. We will, it's a process. It's a journey, especially if they're pretty deep. Like, you got to take the pigment and continue to chemically exfoliate and be consistent. But I'm here to help you feel confident so you can show up, just show up the person that you want to be. And literally, when I started getting waxed, I had so much more confidence. I'm a dancer, and I'm not currently dancing right now. I dance at home. But I always say I'm a dancer still, even though I'm not with a company right now. And I felt totally different when I started getting Brazilian waxes. I felt better about because sometimes when you have ingrowns, especially down there, you're like, oh my gosh, it's not like an STD or anything, but you're just like, it just feels like unclean, even though you're clean and stuff like that. And so, once I started waxing, getting the knowledge, I felt so much more confident. So that's all I really am doing with 3BWaxing, is helping you show up as your best self, whatever that looks like. Help you be confident, because you will be more successful if you show up how you really feel. I love you guys, and I will see you later.